everybody, this is Johnny S with another Happy Gamers reviews. Today we're gonna review Death Must Die. Death Must Die. Again, it's one of these games which is a top-down isometric game, rogue action, like whatever you want to call it. There's many different names for this category. This was suggested by another fellow gamer as I was reviewing some other top-down isometric games. It's a cheap game. We got it on Steam application store for around €6-7, which is quite cheap. To tell you the truth from the beginning, and we'll start the game, so it's going to be a very short review. There's not a lot of crazy things to talk about the game. To tell you from the beginning, I was put off in the sense that the graphics, as can be seen on the background, are very retro-ish like. Yet it's a new game. It looks like a game from the 1980s, but it's not. It's a new early access game, but they went for that retro look. And because the gameplay and the game feel and how quick a response, it shows that it's a new age game, but with old, let's say, graphics. So this is the town that this is where you change your characters and everything. Each character has an interesting thing is that there's a shop with an inventory. So usually games of this genre do not have this, but you can actually build up your characters slowly by acquiring different items of greater importance and more rare items, let's say, and slowly these items are going to give you more additional buffs that, in conjunction with the Constellarium or whatever you want to call it, which is basically the passive skills for these characters, is what makes your character. You have an inventory where you can stash people, you can stash items. Sorry, there's a campfire here. You can change between your characters. I have played quite a bit, but not extreme, just quite a bit. You have 1, 2, 3 melee classes, and you have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 melee classes and 2 range classes, 6 in total. My favorite one is the archer, which is Lorian. He's a ranger. You have a knight, which is like more melee. You have a barbarian. He specializes a lot on defense, regeneration, things like that. You have the sorceress. She does more AoE, magic, and everything. This is an assassin. She's more blades-like, my favorite one, and a warrior, he looks a little bit like a samurai. It reminds me more of an Oriental kind of a character. All characters are good to play. It's up to preference on who you select. I like this guy, for example, but choosing any one of these and selecting select, it's going to change to that according player. Another good thing. Let's go back to our guide. Another good thing is that at any point of time you can access all the inventory of all your characters, whether you are changed or not. So for example, if you click this is for the knight, this is for the mage, this is for the assassin, this is for the barbarian, and you can equip different items. Same thing happens when you're going through the skills. You can at any point of time access the skills from the different menus at the top. And once you're ready to go ahead, you enter this dark pool. The graphics are hilarious, and you enable auto attack. And my character, the way that he plays is basically you just let him sit there, and as long as he's strong enough, his bar at the bottom is going to go up. You're going to acquire new levels, as all of these games we've discussed previously, and you're going to acquire more and more skills, and slowly you're going to be able to level up and become stronger and stronger. You can really play with one hand just by selecting the thing. You can move around to possibly collect the green sort of crystals, which then give you additional more experience. And there are some yellow marks on the maps. On the top right hand side, you can see there is a little mini map display, let's say. Give me 1 second. Whenever you see a yellow indication, that is basically a shrine or some item of importance. Some are temporary buffs, some are items, some are permanent buffs. So as you can see there on my map, there's 2 yellow dots, so you try to follow, go to this one. This is going to give us 4 attack. That's a permanent buff. So you're going to get 4 plus attack, another 4 luck. Again, permanent buff, and you keep on going. The stage is infinite, so if you go like at the top, you just keep on going at the top, you're going to be going at the top forever. There's no, it automatically generates everything that is happening around you. Change the word here like this. And as you can see, your skills change. So there's 1 yellow at the top and 1 at the bottom. So let's go to the bottom one first. We'll see what we get. And this one is going to give us 30% movement speed. This is a temporary 30% movement speed because we have the icon of our character with the little movement speed. So it's just like a small buff. That's why it's so big. 30% movement speed is quite crazy. But some buffs are permanent. This one, for example, is for luck. That one doesn't have an icon above our head, which means you're forever going to have plus things to your luck. And that can be attack speed, that can be many different sort of things, let's say. When you reach at the top the timer, which goes to 20 minutes, this is the end of this stage. I don't know if there's multiple stages at the time. I have only unlocked one, but again, this is also early access game, so I'm guessing there might be more things that I have unlocked, and I'm guessing there might be more additions as time passes. Very nice game, and like I said, because I did approach it with a little bit more of a negative, let's say, approach, I was quite surprised. What it lacks in lacks. Some people like the retro thing, you know what I mean, don't get me wrong. What it lacks in the graphical, let's say, appearance, it makes up for it on the gameplay, on the feel, on the audio soundtrack, on all these things, which really, you know, make you play it more and more. At the beginning, I do want to mention that at the beginning, it did seem to be a little bit difficult. So that's like a little bit of a heads up. But if you play through it, and I'm not talking about spend 3 hours playing through it, spend around 20 minutes to get through that initial, let's say, difficulty. Once you pass that, then the game becomes much more straightforward. Straight away you see your power becoming more available. And another thing is that as you slowly progress through the game, you're going to additionally get new classes. For example, this class now was unlocked quite late, let's say, and it happened to be one of my favorite ones. You know what I mean? So you get additional sort of incentives to keep at it. And in general, it's very nice. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's more classes. Like I said, I'm not expert. I haven't dedicated crazy amounts of time on this, but for the moment, it seems to be 6 classes, and if that is all that they offer, it's more than enough. This is pretty much all that I want to mention about the game. Fun game, awesome game, hilarious, very relaxed. Like I said, you can see me, I'm playing with one hand. You know, time passes by easily. Before you know it, you spend 1-2 hours playing this game. And at any point of time, you can press the B, which is at the bottom right hand side, which opens your inventory, and you can actually select items and drop them on the floor if you don't want them, if your inventory fills up, let's say. And you know, or you can equip them straight away only to the class that you're in at the moment. Whereas in your hideout, for example, in your town, you have access to all the characters. And on the left hand side, there's the statistics, which actually shows you where you're sitting down as far as statistics goes, and these numbers are depending on the level, on the buffs that you have collected on this stage, plus the passive skill tree that you're slowly upgrading your character. And there's many different ways to play it. I mean, you don't have to run around like I'm doing now. You can sit on one place and kind of dodge around like this. And it depends how you want to do it, or you can like follow a specific line. Okay, so I'll keep on playing because I like this game. I advise everybody to get it. It's cheap. It's nothing like crazy. Very fun, very relaxing, and I've got a feeling you're gonna get hooked on it. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your time. We'll talk soon, and bye bye.